Hi Aries, welcome to your end of April 2022 general tarot reading. It's Rena here. Let's pick this one. Okay. Okay. The heart of the matter is the Three of Pentacles. In work situations, this is the card of teamwork. This is the card of being able to work well with others, play well with others. So, you know, usually Aries people are not interested in that because you're your own person. And so being part of that group think is not your cup of tea. I remember that when I would be, interviewing for jobs and they would say, "Are you a team player?" And that's the kind of thing that the Three of Pentacles. And I always would be like, almost have like an allergic reaction to that because, fire energy, I'm a Sagittarian, is just not interested in being part of a team. But the thing is that if you are in Rome, you do as the Romans, right? So you have to learn how to cooperate when you're in that environment. And this is that kind of a thing. And sometimes it can be fun, I think, to be part of something greater than yourself. This is also the Architect's card. So there can be this spirit of building a life for yourself that really works for you. So in the past position, we have the Three of Swords. This is a card that even if you don't know too much about the tarot, it's kind of self-explanatory when you see the card itself. You can see the stake driven through the heart and the blood, And this is a card of heartbreak. This is a card of feeling rejected, feeling maybe overlooked. This can be I got 2 threes here. This can be some kind of a third party situation too. And it's funny. I'm thinking, is this having to do with a coworker and an affair with a coworker or something? But yeah, no, it's like if there's a workplace situation, when I see the Three of Swords, I think of someone who may have lost out on a promotion. And maybe there was something to do with teamwork issues being the reason why. If you were too into yourself, and I'm not trying to piss anyone off by saying that. I'm just trying to think out loud of what might have happened. I'm covering all the bases because in that type of situation, Aries, what you could say is, this is not your scene. This is not where you're meant to be. And that would be perfectly fine. So in other words, maybe you're meant to work in a different environment and you're trying to fit into something that's just not yours. So that Three of Pentacles can be doing something that really will serve you well over the years. So maybe you're building your own business. Maybe you are just rebuilding your life from the ground floor up. And you're just happy to be doing something productive instead of worrying about what other people think of you. You know that saying, what other people think of me is none of my business? That's such a great thing. I love that one. Because with the Three of Swords, sometimes people tell themselves certain things. Why, this happened, and it can be like really putting yourself down, when in fact it could be anything but the case. You never know why somebody is picked over you. The higher message is the Devil card, and it's like, what are you willing to do to, for lack of a better word, selling your soul to the devil? There might be a little bit of hyperbole there, but something can have been, you might have wanted something too much, whether it was a person, a place, or a thing, and now you have to contend with the fallout from that. So relationship that really wasn't yours to have with somebody who was already involved with somebody else, even if they made the first move. If you knew that they were involved with somebody else, the lust that this card represents kind of, might have come back to you in some way. The job that either didn't match your ethics, or maybe you're working with people that brought out the worst in you. And so this Three of Pentacles can be like starting over again in a way. What crosses you is the Page of Swords. So if you have been through something where you felt betrayed recently, Aries, you might be uncharacteristically paranoid, because usually Aries people are very positive, very open for whatever is, what they want out of life. But if someone has been underhanded with them, and maybe the Three of Swords is that kind of a feeling that somebody that you had trust in kind of double-crossed you or something, then you may feel that you don't know who you can trust and who you can't trust. Now, I don't think, the Three of Pentacles does suggest like some sort of productive situation. So maybe it's not necessarily like universal that you feel this way, but maybe there's this residual effect, and that could be kind of coming in between you and what you're trying to do with the Three of Pentacles, the foundations you're trying to build, and maybe what is that term when you're trying to build relationships with people? Well, I could just say building relationships with people that you're working with, and forming a great crew, forming a great team. And you just might be thinking these thoughts, lurking about, okay, is this person kosher? How about this person? If this is love related, this might be something where you might be paranoid that you're going to be found out. Maybe you are concerned about if you are someone who has dealt with infidelity on your end. Maybe you're the victim of the Three of Swords. And the Devil card can be staying with somebody for the wrong reasons. But then you have to feel paranoid every time they go out, because you don't believe them when they say that they're just going to do something. You've just had too much evidence that they are capable of lying. And that's unfortunate, because that can lead to a lot of unnecessary paranoia. You have to be able to trust the person that you're with, right? What's coming in? Seven of Cups. Your mind and emotions may be all over the place. You may be not sure, be kind of unfocused about what it is that you want. You see a lot of opportunities. This is your season, Aries. So you may feel like you have a lot of opportunities, but you really don't know what would be the right thing to do. And you're kind of like searching for where to land, so to speak. This can also be a card of wishful thinking. And so if you have been dealing with a situation involving another person, and I'm saying like especially if that person has been cheating on you, and you're hoping that that's just going to blow over, you really need to be honest with yourself and say, how do I know this? Because this person has promised, or because I want it to be the case. If your Venus is in Pisces, or your moon is in Pisces, a prominent planet, Mercury in Pisces, you may have a tendency to think like this. Actually, I think it's pretty funny. The Seven of Cups and the Hangman, the last card, are both associated with Neptune, I believe, which is a ruler of Pisces. So that Piscean energy is really coming through. And the reason I brought that up is because your sign is adjacent to Pisces and you can have inner planets in Pisces, but also because it really speaks to how Pisces behaves, which is kind of like, if I don't see it, it doesn't exist, which is, of course, absurd. And it can lead to a lot of disenchantment, because deep down inside you know that that isn't true. That, in fact, the other person is doing what you think that they're doing. Because you know, you can't hide from it, in other words. I'm not talking about being paranoid. Normally, I would say, with the Page of Swords, if I was reading it as a reverse card, that you have to stop being paranoid. But maybe, one of the things too, though, is if this is a new relationship with the Three of Pentacles, maybe this is with an earth sign individual in particular, and you feel this sense of safety and groundedness. So Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Capricorn is a sign that you tend to get involved with too. That you may feel this sense of that's going to happen again. So yeah, I guess in some cases that could be preventing you from seeing the truth about someone, because you're so worried that it's going to happen to you. So you have to be careful, because you could ruin a good thing that's a very solid relationship. And the outcome is the Hangman. Oh, wait. Okay, hold up here. Oh, that's right. So I always do that. I read the card. So I actually got it in the reversed position. So the Hangman, I'm just going to hold it upright, which is upside down. The Hangman is about, one of the phrases in one of my books is useless sacrifice. And this can be in the reversed position, I should say. Because the Hangman can be about letting go and letting God in the upright position. And it means having that ability to let go of something that, letting go of the outcome and letting it come in its own time, instead of trying to force it, in other words. Or it can mean like a sense of there being a waiting period for something in your life. But when it's in the reversed position, which is actually supposed to be this way, then it can be that it's a useless sacrifice. You're giving up something in your life for no reason. So an example would be if you're having an affair with someone who is married and has no intention of leaving their partner, and you want a relationship. Now, you might say, well, I'm not that delusional. I would never put myself in that situation. But you may be in that situation and you're characterizing it as something else. That's what I'm trying to say. And the point is that if you're in a situation that is kind of like hopeless, like there's no way to make it work, then the point is that you're sacrificing something that is good for something that is like the devil, that something is not, built with integrity. So it's kind of rotten to the core, that kind of thing. And that's why, it's interesting because with the Three of Pentacles, we're talking about, building your life from the ground floor up, the Architect's card. And when someone, like, let's say someone is on the job and they do something. Remember that movie Black Swan that was with Natalie Portman? And she was a ballerina, and they were like sabotaging each other, these dancers. Let's say somebody is a dancer and they do some kind of a trick that, makes another ballerina break their leg. And then that person who did that terrible thing wins, they become the head ballerina. Is that something that is built on solid ground, or is that rotten to the core? So it's like not being in integrity, not doing something, allowing the lower nature to take over. A relationship that comes from an affair where, I totally believe that there are circumstances where things happen that were not intended to happen. But my feeling is that in those cases that, both parties confesses to their significant other that, and apologizes profusely, explains exactly why it happened and things like that. Not just kind of leave that other person in the lurch and move on to the next situation, because that person is so involved with what they're doing that they're not thinking about the trail of tears that's left behind them. So whatever choice, if you have a choice to make in the rest of this month, Aries, that you make your choice with the highest integrity, and also that you're looking at the long term, because you tend to be a sign that's very spontaneous and you're like into this present moment. And yes, the present moment is all we have, but sometimes we have to really look at what we're doing and not make choices that are dead ends. And this could be in the work world as well. Okay, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a personal reading with me, I am an astrologer first and foremost, even though I also do the tarot and I do private tarot readings as well. But I am an astrologer and I do natal charts. I actually like to do those. If I've never worked with somebody, I would prefer to analyze their natal chart before I do a tarot reading. And I do have a combination chart analysis and tarot reading called the Whole Enchilada for people who like the tarot. And I also have a deep dive reading, which is chart analysis plus the some of the important transits of the next 12 months for special prices. Those are double full-length readings, and individually you'd be paying, a lot more money if you bought both of them together. So they're discounted if you buy the double reading. But I have other readings as well. You can find out more information at rainamoonastrology.com. The link is below. Take care. Bye.